Icon Audio Arts.
Around the World in 80 Days. Written by Jules Verne. Narrated by Geoffrey Giuliano and the Icon Players.
Hello, I'm Geoffrey Giuliano, the founder and oftentimes writer, producer, and narrator of many of our exciting audiobooks. You know, I started Icon after a long career doing exactly the same for companies like Random House Audio, where I was the CEO of a very successful offshoot. Also Bantam Doubleday Dell, and literally dozens more firms since the early 1990s. I will tell you that before I became involved in the industry, an audiobook was just that. Somebody reading a book. Usually a celebrity and generally a book from the bestseller list. Even today, that is the accepted format. But looking at it with our Icon team, we saw room to expand the perimeters of these popular audio productions and thus decided, when appropriate, to add interviews and conversations with our biographical subjects into the mix, as well as music and sometimes even sound effects. A book didn't even necessarily have to be a bestseller to become an Icon audio production, so we also threw that model out of the window as well and created our own original content, along with classic literature and, yes, even a few trusty bestsellers. As we have been in the business successfully since the early 90s, and we are now well into the 21st century, I fully expected someone to copy our model, but surprisingly, no one ever did. Therefore, from day one of the creation of Icon Audio Arts, or Icon Audiobooks as our work is generally marketed, our company stands alone with its highly creative list of hundreds of original and classic titles produced in our own inimitable, one-of-a-kind way. I hope you enjoy this, our latest Icon audio production, as much as we have had in creating them for you for these past several decades. Here is a place where education, entertainment, and inspiration meet in the most charming way. I'm Geoffrey Giuliano, and along with my son Eden, we wish all of our loyal Icon listeners the very, very best. And now, please enjoy this original Icon Audio Arts production from our family to yours.
Chapter 1, in which Phileas Fogg and Passepartout accept each other, the one as master, the other as man. Mr. Phileas Fogg lived, in 1872, at No. 7 Savile Row, Burlington Gardens, the house in which Sheridan died in 1814. He was one of the most noticeable members of the Reform Club, though he seemed always to avoid attracting attention, an enigmatical personage about whom little was known except that he was a polished man of the world. People said that he resembled Byron, at least that his head was Byronic, but he was a bearded, tranquil Byron, who might live on 1,000 years without growing old. Certainly an Englishman, it was more doubtful whether Phileas Fogg was a Londoner. He was never seen on 'Change nor at the bank, nor in the counting rooms of the city. No ships ever came into London docks of which he was the owner. He had no public employment. He had never been entered at any of the Inns of Court, either at the Temple, or Lincoln's Inn, or Gray's Inn, nor had his voice ever resounded in the Court of Chancery, or in the Exchequer, or the Queen's Branch, or the ecclesiastical courts. He certainly was not a manufacturer, nor was he a merchant or a gentleman farmer. His name was strange to the scientific and learned societies, and he never was known to take part in the sage deliberations of the Royal Institution, or the London Institution, the Artisans' Association, or the Institution of Arts and Sciences. He belonged, in fact, to none of...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?